Hey everybody, Michael here from Replica Airguns with a tabletop video review, but this is not on the table. These guns are long guns are a little hard to show on the table, so I can kind of show them off a little better, get the whole entire gun in here when I get out in front. So there's going to be less cuts and stuff. There'll be some little bit of mistakes as I go through my list here, as I read through it. So bear with me a little bit. I am going to compare this guy to a bunch of other similar products. Obviously there's the Red Ryder BB gun that kind of started it all off. That one goes way back, and then you've got Crossman, who came up with the Marlin, right? And then Umarex actually took that name over, so now they have the Marlin license. And this one's by Venturi, so this is called the Annie Oakley Lil Sure Shot. And I've got two versions here for you. They're very similar, but kind of different in a ways. I got this one a while back. I don't even remember when, and I didn't actually review it. I was looking for a review on it, and I couldn't find one. So somehow it kind of got missed. But I do have it here to compare it to the slightly newer version, so I can kind of tell you what the difference is, just in case you already own this one, or in case you come across this one for sale. You'll be able to pick out the differences. So we'll do that in a little bit here. I'm going to compare it a little bit to, obviously, the Red Ryder that I have here. I've got two versions of Marlins, one from Crossman, one from Umarex. They're all just a little different, but they all do the same thing. They're spring piston rifles, lever action, based off the old cowboy rifles, lever action cowboy rifles, right? And yeah, they're BB rifles. They have these little internal hoppers, I should say big internal hoppers, hold 400 to 500 or so rounds in them, and then you gravity feed, hold it up, gravity feed the BBs from the hopper into the gun and shoot. And they're just so much fun to shoot. They're really designed to be a beginner rifle, I'd say, because they're not crazy high velocity. Rifles are better for training on because of the longer barrels. It's easier to control. Great for kids. They're actually usually pretty short, pretty lightweight. The cocking mechanism isn't overly heavy. So perfect for younger shooters starting out. But I mean, that said, I love shooting these things too. They're so much fun just plinking around in the backyard. You can have so much fun with them. So let's get into the specifications first. We'll do some comparisons. We'll get into some pros and the cons. So it is available in our Replica Airguns store over at replicaairguns.ca. You can check out replicaairguns.com. I'll put links, or replicaairguns.us. I'll put links if we have something similar in the US. I'm sure we have some sort of lever action BB rifle there. Maybe not this exact one, but we do have products there as well. And I haven't field tested this. I've tested a bunch of the other ones, tested them out outdoors, indoors, all kinds of stuff. There's a few shooting reviews for these style of guns, but not this one in particular. So again, it's Annie Oakley licensed lever action style BB rifle through Venturi. Primarily, it's an almost all metal and wood constructed gun with just a little bit of plastic, and I'll point out those parts when I go through it, when I get close into it. It's basically got a full wood stock. It's got a metal lever, so it's got all the nice heavier quality or better quality components. Again, it's spring powered, lever action, so no CO2 required, spring piston. Shoots 4.5 millimeter steel BBs. It's got a built-in 550 round BB reservoir that's gravity fed as well. When you got to hold it up to shoot it. So it's a lightweight design. It's ideal for younger shooters, as I mentioned, approximately 3.3 pounds total weight. The overall length is just over 36 inches, so about 36 and a quarter inches, so not overly long. Even basically the stock has a nice, short stock, so it's pretty good. It's done a long pull, so that's kind of nice. And it does have a crossbolt safety, okay? So it's got the crossbolt safety on here. I'll show you that when I get in close to it. It does have a removable weaver style scope mount. Again, I'll show you that when I get in close to it. So this comes off if you don't want the sort of more upgraded or up-to-date weaver style scope mount. If you just want to keep it more traditional looking, you can take that off. And it's styled again after the lever action, classic lever action Western rifles, similar to the Red Ryder that started it all. And again, distributed by Venturi. Now it does come in this nice theme styled box. Okay, so it's got that Western wood grain on it. You got the deputy and the sheriff stars here that have all the information, up to 350 FPS, 550 shots, shoots BBs. Not too much going on here, but this is what it looks like. Okay, And you got stained solid wood stock, wood forearm with engraving, smoothbore barrel, removable scope mount, and engraved Annie Oakley image. So that's what the back looks like. Inside the box is going to be, I believe, just a little manual. I didn't actually pull it out, but you know, it'll be a basic manual in the box to show you how to use it. Okay. Let's not get in too close just yet. Let's compare it to the Red Ryder. So, well, we just dumped a bunch of boxes. That's okay. Are we still in focus here? I think we are. We're good enough. Okay, so here's the Red Ryder, and you know it's pretty similar in length, so about the same. Red Ryder. There's different versions of Red Ryders. There's all kinds. There's some that have the metal levers. I mean, depends on when you bought it. They started out with metal levers, then they went to plastic, then they went back to metal. You can get different ones, different like finishings on them. There's quite a few versions of these guys out there, but this is the classic Red Ryder, and it's the same lever action thing. This one's got wood. Some of them had plastic, all metal. Usually you're going to find the receivers and the barrels are going to be metal. A lot of times the triggers and potentially levers are plastic. Sometimes the front sight's plastic. Usually the rear sight's metal. But this is a basic version. You know, you put your BBs in the front here. It's got the BB reservoir. Okay, so that's the old classic Red Ryder. And then I'm going to show you, this is a newer Marlin from Umarex. And this one to me seemed like it's maybe targeted a little bit for, you know, adult shooters. I'm not going to cock it because there's BBs in it, but it's got the nice big loop here, a little easier to get your hands in. It's got a bigger area for your fingers. So larger, full-size adult shooters are going to be able to manage this a little bit better. It's also got a peep sight on the back. This one does have a plastic stock, which is fine. It's fairly durable. It's got a plastic front sight, which is very common on these, but it does have an adjustable rear sight. And this is Marlin branded, I believe. Yeah, it doesn't actually have Marlin on the, it's interesting. It doesn't have Marlin on the actual gun, but on the box it does. So I'm not sure, to be honest, I'm not sure if Umarex has the light. Oh no, sorry, I'm wrong. It does have Marlin right here. It's just not super obvious. So it is Marlin licensed. Don't fall. Precarious. Okay, so here is the, this is the Crosman Marlin. So Crosman actually must have had the license originally, because this one goes back before the Umarex version that Umarex license. And this is the Marlin. And this was brought in basically as direct competitor to Daisy with the Red Ryder. And they're, you know, they came out when the Red Ryder was put in plastic, and they were going with plastic levers and different things. And so Marlin came out and said, yeah, we got a metal lever. And then of course, Daisy made a metal lever version. After that, they upgraded their lever back from plastic to metal. So that's kind of good. They started doing that, but very similar, you know, wood, metal. You do have this plastic here. You do have this little loading area here as well. All the same kind of stuff, really. They're all very, very similar. And they all kind of shoot about, you know, 300 feet per second, maybe 350. Some of them will say faster, but they're all around maybe 350 at the end of the day. And then we have this other little sure shot, Annie Oakley sure shot. And again, this is the one I didn't review, but I did want to mention a few differences in these two. There are two. You see that it's shorter, okay? So you can see that it's a shorter barrel. The other differences are it doesn't actually come with this little dovetail rail on it, but it does come in the box, so you can put it on. So it comes with it. You can put it on if you want, mount a scope, like a Weaver style rail. This one actually has a different loading system. So on the new version, you have this type of a setup like that, right? A little hole in there. And this whole front sight is also plastic on the new version. What I do like is this older version has a metal kind of part. And the reason it has that is because you load it by turning it and opening up this little port. So it's all metal, and it's kind of nice, because I think metal, and then you've got a metal front sight, a little more durable. You've got all metal on the top, metal rear sight, except for this little plastic piece here, which is pretty flimsy. There's a little bit of plastic there. On this, I think it's a little bit more durable looking, to be honest. It's just the way that this is set up, looks more durable. But both of them have plastic triggers. This older version has a plastic lever though, okay? And it's also a little different in the receiver. You see how the receiver's flat there? And the receiver on this one kind of curves around. So if you're looking to buy one and you want the newer version or you want the older version, then you might want to look for the differences in them so you know which one you're buying, because they do look very similar. This newer version has a nicer looking sort of, I'd call it an auburn kind of colored or orange, bit of an orange wood stock, which I do like. This one's a little bit less shiny, more matte, and it's a little darker in color. They're both great, and I'm sure they both, you know, have very similar shooting capabilities, all of that. Now, if you're wondering about the stock take-up, both of them are going to have the same amount of shoulder pull because the rear stock is about the same. So where the trigger line and everything lines up, it's all the same. It's just that the barrel's going to be longer on the new version, okay? All right, so I think we've shown off some of these. I mean, but it's important. There's a lot of these Red Ryder style BB rifles out there. There's quite a few to pick from. So I did want to go over some of the differences between these ones. We don't have, I think right now we just have this guy listed and we have the Umarex Marlin listed on our website. So we don't have, you can't get the Crossman version anymore in the Marlin. I don't think that one's available anymore. And Red Ryder, we get them sometimes, they come and go. But that's kind of where we're at this point. So let's take a quick look, get up close to it. Okay, you can see you've got the Oakley, or Annie Oakley, and it's right engraved into the wood stock. The wood stock's very nice. It's very simple, but it's nice. It's good quality. It looks really good. Nice grain to it. You've got the metal lever, okay, which is really nice. Metal lever. You do have a plastic trigger, okay, and then you have this crossbolt safety. On that side, you've got your warning instructions, a little on the bright side. It's all stamped steel here with, you've actually got screws that go right through, okay, on both sides, hold it nicely together. And then you've got, this is plastic, by the way. So that weaver rail is plastic. So be careful with it when you put a sight on there. Don't be torquing it too hard. But I'm sure you could replace it. It's a fairly inexpensive part to replace. You do have a metal rear sight, but this little bit here where you can adjust the pitch is plastic. And then that's also got screws to put it right on there. And then you have some more licensing and stuff there as well. There's your front licensing and your front wood stock. You've got this little window here is to see if there's a BB. So when you're loading BBs and you put it in this position, you'll see one in there when it's ready to load. So you know that it's fed into the gravity portion. So all the BBs are going to go in here, in this little port right up there. Okay, they go in there. Here's your front sight. I wish it was metal like the other one. I kind of wish this one had the front loading port like the other one. But that said, this hole is a little bigger and easier to load into. So maybe for loading, this would be a little easier to load. So yeah, really nice gun, not too heavy. You know, the sights on it are fine the way they are. They're nice and tight. It's not a super wide gap here. So everything lines up nicely. Yeah, it feels good on the shoulder. The shoulder pull length and where the sights line up for me seem really good. I think that would work well. So we will be doing field test shooting video and I will be testing it out. These are just so much fun to shoot. So we'll see. Hopefully it's pretty accurate. Yeah, so let's get into some of the pros and the cons real quick here. All right, where are we at? We're on that page. Okay, so it's lightweight and compact, easy to handle, especially for younger shooters, of course, but, you know, still fully workable for older shooters. Has the full wood stock and metal lever, so lots of quality and materials in this one. It's not cheap at all by any means. It does have that removable weaver rail system for a scope or red dot, and can set it up and either use it that way or remove it for a more classic look. It does have a simple, lightweight lever action operation, making it easy to learn. So, you know, it's not super light, but safety's on. But shouldn't dry fire, by the way, but it's okay. It's a Red Ryder. It's a Red Ryder style. These things will last forever. So yeah, I mean, younger shooters are going to have to work it a little bit, but some older shooters, it's super easy to use. Again, no CO2 or gas required, so very low maintenance, just a little bit of oil. You put it in here. There's this little hole right here. By the way, I didn't mention that. Right there. That little oil hole, it says oil. So you throw a little oil in there every once in a while. It just oils everything up, make sure all the internal components are lubricated properly. Yeah, it has that classic Western style ammo or look with the Annie Oakley branding on it. So it's nice that it's got all the extras, gives it a little bit more, you know, it looks a little classier, a little cooler, I think. It's nice. It's not just a simple wood. I mean, it would be fine if it was, but it looks good with all that extra stuff on it. You do have that 550 round hopper, so you load it up, you're going to be shooting for a long time. Your arm's probably going to get tired way before you run out of ammo, I'm assuming. And the lower velocity makes it more appropriate for supervised beginner use. Again, rifles are a great way to start out. Something like this is easy. You can't just like unload a bazillion rounds in seconds because you got to cock it, and kids are going to have a little difficulty cocking. It's going to take them some time. So if they do get a bad round off in the wrong direction, hopefully you can catch them before they get another one off. And the compact size fits smaller shooters much better than full-size BB rifles would. And it's pretty easy to load and operate with minimal strength required. Again, I think I've mentioned that before. All right, some cons. The front sight is plastic, so I wish it was metal like the earlier version. It's going to be lower power than a CO2 rifle in general, right? Most of the CO2 rifles are going to be, especially pellet rifles, closer to 500, 450, 500 feet per second with heavier grain pellets usually. So a little less velocity, a little less energy downrange. And the rear sight is only adjustable for elevation, but at least it's adjustable for elevation. You can put that weaver rail on there again to mount different optics if you want to. And it's going to be a little slightly higher price than other BB rifles. So for instance, the Umarex Marlin, the Marlin Cowboy Umarex that I showed you with the plastic stock, the little larger version, that one's about $10 to $15 less, but it's marginal at the end of the day. And again, a little bit less realism. So there's other lever action rifles that are shell ejecting, that are, you know, they look legit. They look like a real lever action rifle, and they function a little bit more like it with the full working bolt and everything. And, you know, the shells eject. Those are going to be more realistic at the end of the day, but obviously more costly to shoot. All right, so again, this one's available in our Canada Replica Airgun store. So don't forget to check out replicaairguns.ca. I'll put a link in the description to buy it. I'll put other links in the US to the US store as well for similar products. Also check out replicaairguns.com. Articles, post reviews there, additional photos, sometimes some other information, a written version of this post. If you like reading things as well, you can do that. And again, check out replicaairguns.ca, replicaairguns.us for air guns, BB guns, airsoft guns, pellet guns, blank guns, and other accessories. All right, thanks again for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Until next time, take care.